Alrighty. What up, Teen Toppers?
Hey.
Ooh, let's get focused.
Yeah.
So we are in the car and we're going to have a little car talk because we are noticing some issues in our generation that we want to address right here, right now.
Let's do it.
You just wanna be the hot topic.
So we are headed to church. I think it's called Capital Atlanta or something like that. One Capital Atlanta, something like that. And we just wanted to address an issue that we notice in our generation. A lot of people talk about it, but you can never talk about it too much. It deals with insecurities. With the younger generation, I've just noticed personally that it seems like when they don't feel their best or when they're not made up with their makeup and their hair, which they think they have to do, especially it's girls, it's mostly girls that deal with this image of insecurity. Guys do too, but I guess we're girls, so we look at it from a female perspective.
I mean, the only thing with when it comes with insecurity, it stops you from obtaining your full potential.
Right.
You get scared and put yourself in a box rather than stepping out and just trying. There's remember in high school, middle school, we would have field day, and people at that time, I wasn't even worried about my jeans were tight enough, or I was skinny enough. I wasn't focused on my weight, my appearance. When you're a child, you got this innocent mentality, but now we're getting all these young kids who are trying to take the role as a grown-up, and they're losing their innocence on the way. And that's what's happening, because when you're a kid, you don't worry about nothing. You're free.
I'm free. Dang it.
You're vulnerable. You're just excited about everything. You're enthusiastic about life, and you're looking at everything from an optimistic lens. But what happens is we get all these young kids now who are all oh, well, I gotta be a baddie and I have to uphold my image or my reputation. And there is no reputation, because you're not standing on anything. You're just standing on, if I look a certain way or if I act this way.
And based on what you see of others,
exactly,
you're standing on.
I will gain the same attention like them. Like the Kardashians or the Beyonce and stuff, and they don't realize that's their job. The Kardashian, Beyonce, that is their job and their reputation to uphold, of gaining their followers. They know that I have to uphold this image in the public eye view, but when I'm at home, they probably not I gotta be glammed up. They don't have no makeup on. They probably just chill and relax. And so we have to realize with the social media and the internet is that we cannot be fooled by the ways of life. We live in a real society, but we're so consumed with our technology and the profiling on the television that we forget what really is life. And so as Christians, we have to realize that they're literally dressed up in sheep. They're in wolf's clothing and sheep. And I say that only because on the internet, they're looking oh, I'm a big bad wolf. I got money all days. I have no problems. But they know deep down inside, the only thing that's holding them, you hear Jesus a lot. A lot of people mention Jesus. But then when you see them in public, they're over here cussing and stuff. And they know, because the God we serve is a great and mighty God. His name upholds many, above all names. And so what happens is, when they take his name, they know when I'm hurting, when I'm broken, when I don't know who I am, I go run back to my Savior. But then when they go out into their public eye, they're being a two-faced, because they're realizing, well, I still have a business to uphold. I have to do certain things to gain this amount of attention. And so we cannot be swaying in our faith. At this time, in this atmosphere, we have to stay stern and firm on what we believe in the foundation, because if not, it's just pointless. Why use God's name in vain, and you're not even going to reap the full benefits? And everyone thinks, oh, if I accept Christianity or Jesus or God as my Lord and Savior, then I'll get all the money and fame. But they're missing the whole point. God wants your character to be right. He wants your heart to be right. He doesn't care about that. So you can do all those things in his name, gain all the riches, do all these great deeds, and then not realize that all of it mean nothing. Because when you stand before the God, we all know we're going to fall face down upon God. And we're going to say, God, you are Almighty King. And so we have to realize he has the authority to say, you can enter my kingdom or not. And majority of us is not even going to make it into the kingdom of God, because we're going to think, oh, well, if we do good deeds, if we look a certain way, if we carry ourselves this kind of form, then God will love us. But he loved us from the get-go, before we were even born in our mother's womb, you know? And he had plans to prosper us. But we just felt like, you know, because of my insecurity, because of my fear, you know, my insecurity is bigger than God. And so it's really sad to see, you know, a lot of people who are trying to walk this faith with God not really obtain all that God has for them because of their lack of, you know, trust in the Lord.
My advice to the generation, and to you, anyone watching this video, young girls, guys, teens, whatever, tweens, is that as easy as it may sound for people to say, you know, don't worry about your looks. I mean, those are things that, I mean, as easy as it sounds, it's really hard to do, because we're also consumed of making sure that we look the part and making sure we look a certain way in the eyes of someone else. But besides that point, yes, look your part, do your best at making yourself feel confident any way that you can, but focus more on your heart as well. Make sure that you're building yourself from the inside out, and don't focus on the outside so much, because we get so caught up in like we said, the new generation of technology, and making sure that we look like the way the world wants us to look, with this slim thick and this certain body, or being super small, being waist and hips and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, those aren't the thing that's going to get you. They're not going to ever satisfy you. You know, you can always look so great on the outside, but if you don't feel confident within, you're never going to be able to be yourself out in public. You're never going to be able to smile and genuinely love yourself, you know, for who God has created you to be. So you have to find a way to find your inner confidence. And I think that all starts with building a relationship with Christ, and making sure that you know that Christ loves you first, and that it doesn't matter about what people think about you. But if you can find your confidence within God, then you will have a better foundation to stand upon. And so that's basically my advice for you. And it takes time to learn to love yourself, but it also means that you have to take the focus off of loving someone else too. So get away from these little boyfriends and all that stuff for a minute, and focus on making sure that you are okay with who you are.
And then I also think another great advice, instead of putting the attention always on you, like, okay, well, I look good, put it on someone else. Love someone else as hard as you would want yourself, as you would love yourself. You know, God always says, love your neighbor as you love yourself, right? Did I say that right? Love your neighbor
as thyself.
As thyself. And so it's so important as Christians, if you feel like there's a lack or a void, that's the opportunity to go and love someone else. Love another girl and say, girl, you look good, you look great, your hair looks awesome. That's the opportunity to show love to God's people. And, you know, not even God's people who don't even know God. That's the time when, you know, you go and lay and help someone else, help your brother, help your sister, because they need it, you know. They're hurting.
It's actually a proven fact that it's actually a proven fact that when you love someone else, you begin to feel great about yourself too.
And that's why we have like so many celebrities realizing, if I give money to people, or if I help out, you know, their schools or all kinds of stuff, then
you'll feel greater within.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
Loving someone else.
You know, and that's why it's so important
makes you feel joy
to give back to the community.
Exactly. So we hope you guys enjoyed this video and this car rant, this car talk. Give this video a big thumbs up, hit that red subscribe button, and don't forget to comment below anything that's on your mind. If you need some prayer, if you need somebody to talk to, you know, don't be afraid to reach out to us. We're on Instagram at Topic Twins. Our email is thetopictwins@gmail.com. It's in our description box below. You can reach us on any of those social media platforms. We're here to help you. We're here to encourage you. We're here to love on you. So stay on top, Team Toppers. We love you, but Jesus loves you even more. Pray out.
Pray out.
I'm free. Dang it.